Hey everyone, I'm Kody with Up To Kode. Today we're building the pergola, and it's a perfect chance to teach you the perfect spindle spacing. Now in this scenario, I want my spacings to be perfect for this scenario, and it's the exact same math that you would use if you're doing like an interior railing for your house, a deck railing, and I'll show you how to do it so you can basically, it doesn't matter the size of the spindle, you can figure out how to do it on your own, okay? So, too much talking already, let's do it. So what I'm gonna draw you is a section view. So you can probably see this fence. It's the same idea. Normally what you would have, I'll draw it big so you guys can see it. You have a post here and a post here. Right, and this is your deck or the floor, doesn't matter. So what you need to know is this dimension. We're going to make one up. We're going to say it is 97.5. Okay. Then let's talk spindles, deck, doesn't matter, interior. So let's say we're going to do, here's our spindles. So what you have to keep in mind is that we're going to count units. So 1 unit is a space and your spindle. So space and a spindle is 1 unit. Space and another spindle is a 2nd unit. So as you go along, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would be our 7th. Now this is the most important part. Here, we have a space but no spindle. So what you're going to want to do is we're going to add the width of a spindle into our calculation. And I'll show you 2 ways to figure this out. So first off, let's say we're using 1/2-inch spindles. Let's say we're doing an interior railing. We want 1/2-inch spindles. And we got to be 4 inches or less for our space to meet code. So whatever your local code is, got to keep that in mind. All right, so our unit space, our unit, we're going to shoot for 4.5 inches. So then first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1/2 inch to my dimension. So we're going to go 98 divided by 4.5 equals, and this is just to give us an idea of how many units there's going to be in this space. So 98 divided by 4.5 is 21.77 units. So you can't have a partial unit. You wouldn't go 21 because that's going to space it out more and give you more than a 4-inch gap, which you can't do. So then we're going to go 98 inches divided by 22 units equals 98 divided by 22 equals 4.4545 inches. So what that'll tell you is if you just minus 0.5, this space here, I'll just use a different color, because you know your spindles are 1/2 inch, you know that this dimension is 3.9545. So from here to here, 3.9545. So you're less than 4, you're within code, and then with this dimension, you know exactly, if you're doing fillets, you know your fillet size, and that's how it's done. So let's do one more scenario, and then we'll back check the math to make sure that we're good to go. Let's say our spindles now in this scenario we're using 1x4s, well, these are 1x6s on this fence. You could use the same math for a fence. Let's say they're 3.5 inches. We're using 1x4s. We need our spacing to be 4 inches or less. This number can be anything. If you're doing a fence, it could be 1/2 inch, 1 inch, whatever you want your spacing to be. What I'm showing you today is how to figure out on your own. So now our unit size is 7.5. So unit size is 7.5 inches. Then we go, so remember, we're gonna have 8 spaces. So now I gotta add my spindle width here. So I'm gonna go, maybe I'll do it in black. I'm just gonna go over here. 97.5 plus 3.5 equals, this is why I don't play cards, by the way, because I'm great at math, I just can't do it in my head too good. 101 inches. We gotta go 101 inches divided by our unit size. We need to know approximately how many spacings. 101 divided by 7.5 is 13.46 units. But we can't have a partial unit, so we round that up to 14. So it's 101 inches divided by 14 units equals 7.214 inches per unit. So now, remember, a unit is a space in your spindle. So I'm going to minus 3.5. So now my gap in between is 3.714. Okay. So what's nice about that, again, you can have your fillet size. I'll show you a trick too. When you're adding it up on the calculating device, when you're doing your layout, so this is our unit size. So if you're pulling your tape, you can just pull it from your post to the end of your unit, and then it's just the same mark every time. So your X would be left, left, left. So you'd go, if you want to be super accurate, which you'd want to be especially on interior work, 7.214 plus 7.214 equals. So my next dimension is 14.428. And what I do, because Imperialist sucks for this, because you have to convert everyone later, is I just write every spacing size. So once I have that, I just go equals 21.64, 28.85, 36.07, and I just write them all down, and then I got to convert them later. So metric definitely has the upper hand on this scenario. But I think that gives you guys all the tools you need. That way you can just, whatever your scenario is, if it's a fence and you want a 1-inch space with a 6-inch board, you know how to figure it out. So that all the spacings are the exact same, and it's perfect. And one way to double check your math, let's do this. We're gonna do it in reverse. We are gonna go, we're gonna take our unit size times our units. So 7.214 times 14 equals 100.996 inches. So that's, remember, our units includes the last spindle. So we want to minus 3.5 is 97.496, which is 97.5. So if you figure it out in reverse, then you know that you're bang on, no errors. You can do your layout. Once you lay it out, you can double check your last space, make sure you're good to go, and then you're off to the races, guys. Thanks for tuning in. So this top row is the exact decimal placing, and then down below I'm just doing my conversions. I know it's slow, but then I can just have the guys yell this out as I'm doing my layout. So here, I just want to know, okay, is 0.56, is that close to 9/16? What's 9 divided by 16? 0.56, right? And I'm just going to round up to a 16th here or there. What's 0.34? That's about 3/8. 3/8. So even if you want to make a chart, you go 3/8 equals 375. 7/16 equals 4375. And you could do a chart, right? So we're going to go 5/16 equals 3125. So we're going to go 47 and 5/16. 125 I think is an eighth. 63 and an eighth. What's 0.9? Let's go 15/16. 15/16 equals 937. 7/8. 875. So this one, whatever, doesn't matter. 78 and 15/16. What's a 6/8? See? 13/16. Oh shit, yeah, 5/8. See? 5/8 equals 625. 11/16, so it's just 11 divided by 16. See, it's hard. One day, if you do this for a million years, you'll remember all the decimal places. 94 and 11. Ah. 7/16, 110. And then the last one's 126 and a quarter. So bang, we're dead on.